Taking a look today at the New York Stock Exchange from May 31st through June 13th to understand how the end of this cycle will play out and how astrology is influencing these markets. During the new moon, the moon was squaring to the North Node. The New York Stock Exchange has not been affected thus far yet. I am recording this on May the 25th. So we'll see how the second half of the cycle will play out. And before we begin, if you are interested in joining my YouTube memberships, see below. Join. I release these videos earlier to members so you can view these videos sooner. So please join. It's a great way to support my channel and the work that I do. And if these memberships are not for you, hit the like, subscribe button and share this information so more people can see this video and help them in their financial journey. This is the full moon. It's on May 31st, 4:44 a.m. It's a Sunday. It's in Sagittarius at 9 degrees, 55 minutes. This is the general tone, the undercurrents of the market. When there's other transits that I'm discussing in New York Stock Exchange and Bitcoin's chart for the crypto market, keep this information in mind because it will be very important to how the other transits will be influenced. The North Node is squaring to the full moon. So in the new moon, the moon was squaring the North Node, and now in this full moon, it is squaring the North Node. This is also highlighting sudden interruptions in the market, unexpected events cause the markets to have very challenged momentum, negative momentum. Now, in the stock market, I did not see this yet, but this cycle is not over yet. So it's just something to have to be aware of. And if there is a sudden, unexpected downturn in the market, you will see it. It'll be in your face and you'll know when the markets turn and become very negative momentum. Any positive transits going on will be ignored and will likely just continue in this downtrend until it turns around. Usually it lasts for quite a bit of time. It could be a week to 2 weeks. It could be for the rest of the cycle. So it's just something to watch. Sagittarius. What is Sagittarius? Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Expansion, optimism. Sagittarius and Jupiter, they also do rule the housing markets, judges, laws to that degree. Something with the Federal Reserve could also be something that's very important to both of these financial markets. So Jupiter, it's in Cancer. Cancer is emotional, wealth expansion through trading. Over optimism is something else to be aware of, especially in the New York Stock Exchange. I know it's been going up as if forever. Just keep in mind this moon squaring this North Node. Jupiter, the ruler of this moon, is squaring to Chiron during this full moon. And this is very important. It's losses due to this emotional volatility and emotional instability. Market instability will also follow. But this could be a theme of something that's happening in this last part of the cycle, the last 2 weeks of the cycle. The moon is at 9 degrees. This is the Sagittarius degree, which is ruled by Jupiter. So it's sudden gains, unexpected profits, but also unexpected losses. And the North Node square of the moon, that's just high amounts of speculation. It could be speculation made in fear. It could be speculation made in this over-optimism. But it's just something to be aware of. There could be just a lot of speculation this last 2 weeks of the month. Something else that I'm noticing that I did not notice as I was going through this, Mars is squaring to Pluto. That is some tense energies, power struggles, power dynamics, challenges in the power of the financial markets, of the crypto market, who is taking action, causing the markets to take a sudden downtrend. The over-optimism being deflated. Too much optimism causing the other side of it. Just be aware, be diligent. If you made a profit, take it, and then enter back into your trade, because there is a possibility of a reversal in the market, a severe downtrend in the market, especially with the full moon squaring to this North Node. along with Mars squaring to Pluto. And I'm saying that because I've studied market crashes, and Mars always seems to be the factor that's always there. It's always talking to an outer planet. In this case, it's squaring to Pluto. I'm not saying there's going to be a market crash this time around. It's something to keep in the back of your mind during this last part of the cycle. It's also the second full moon, so there's more emotions, more trades being made due to the emotions. Sagittarius, expanded optimism, but it could also be expanding fear. So please just keep that in mind. Jupiter is the ruler of this full moon because the moon's in Sagittarius. But Jupiter also does rule its midhaven of Pisces. The moon is not making any aspects to any of the planets in New York Stock Exchange chart. So this could follow closer to the general transits. The theme of this for the New York Stock Exchange, it could be greed with periods of volatility. During this full moon, Jupiter is squaring to natal Jupiter and to natal Saturn. This could be causing the volatility. It could also be causing tension in the markets. Remember, in the general transits, full moon was squaring to the north node. This could be the period when that unexpected events occur, causing a downtrend in the market. Jupiter squaring to natal Jupiter and to Saturn. Overextension, volatility, exaggerated market expectations, and increased resistance the closer to the new moon that this cycle goes. So the closer we get to June the 14th, increased resistance could be occurring. Jupiter is in a sextile to New York Stock Exchange's Mercury. So this has the strongest influence during the full moon. It's exact on the 30th, but the markets are closed on Sunday. Again, I'm recording this on the 25th of May. Narrative-driven trading, strong reaction to news and data, and the news will be the primary factor affecting this period. So this could also be into June the 1st. You could also see this positive trend with the market. Pluto will also be squaring to New York Stock Exchange's Venus. Emotional extremes tied to greed. Now, with Jupiter being the ruler of this moon, full moon, extreme greed, over optimism, over inflated prices, people being greed driven. And as a result of that, there could be at some point a downtrend in the market. Jupiter rules the interest rates, the bonds, along with travel, advertising, sports, and international law and commerce. I would look at those sectors to understand and to see different trends and themes throughout this market, throughout the rest of the cycle. June 1st through the 5th, this could be more positive than volatile. The 1st and the 2nd, there are no transits in New York Stock Exchange's chart, so it will follow the general transits. Mercury enters in Cancer, Sun sextile to Saturn. So that is positive, strong emotional sentiment, emotional trading. So if traders are feeling very positive, the market will be positive. If they're feeling challenged and some news and information comes out, challenging the emotions of the traders, there will be more challenged, fearful momentum during that time. The 1st and the 2nd, it could just be overall positive momentum within the cycle. Within those days. June the 2nd, I have this as positive due to June 4th transits. Lilith will be trying to New York Stock Exchange's moon. That is positive. The 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th could be influenced from this transit. Lilith is in the 6th house. To the moon, it's the emotions breaking out, the prices breaking out. Sentiment really favoring positive market trends during the 4th, even the 3rd. On the 3rd, Venus will square the moon. So I would say between the period of 12 and 2 p.m., I would expect maybe some more challenges. This is also the emotions pulling on the heartstrings of the market. To 18 degrees, sudden correction, a correction. When it goes down for a short period of time before it hits the resistance line, it could just be that. It's not a correction. I can't think of the word right now, but it's just a short, brief downtrend, and then it changes and goes back up. The 4th, I have this as all day as positive. June the 5th. So the morning of the 5th could be overall positive because you have the leftover energy of Lilith trying the moon, and the sun is sextile to its natal Uranus in the 2nd house. Value, suddenly increasing the value of the market, of the trades, of the stocks, of the prices. After the market closes, Lilith will be squaring to natal Mars. This is the opposite energy of the 4th. So towards the very end of the day, it could be just a sudden reversal, a sudden reversal of prices, reversal of momentum towards the very late in the afternoon, closer to the closing time of the 5th. That's a Friday. So it could be going greatly from the 3rd, the 4th. Looks like it's going up forever. And then on the very last half hour on, even hour, but half hour on, we could just have this sudden halting, screeching stop, and the market suddenly becomes this fearful downtrend of momentum. Or it closes in the red, a reversal of prices. This transit could also influence June the 8th, that Monday, because the markets are closed for Saturdays and Sundays. June the 8th, there's no transits, no general transits. In the New York Stock Exchange, Venus sextiles Mercury and Mars squaring to Uranus. Okay, so the very early morning hours, this could be opening bell, could be negative, fearful, aggressive, sudden aggressive pullbacks. Pullbacks, that's the word I was looking for before. A pullback, a sudden aggressive pullback within the prices. Throughout the rest of the day, it could just be volatile, up and down, back and forth, with the energy of Venus sextile Mercury and Mars squaring to Uranus. June the 5th, we had Lilith squaring to Mars. That leftover energy could be also what's causing negative challenge momentum in the morning of June the 8th. Something that I've noticed with the New York Stock Exchange, and I have not been following this as long as I have crypto market, so I'm still learning and observing. When the market closes, if a transit is going on outside of the opening market window, it doesn't seem to have that strong of an influence. Let me know if that's something that you do observe or not. June 8th could also have short bursts of calm. Okay, short bursts of calm followed by sharp aggressive pullbacks. And that is because Venus is also conjunct Jupiter and Sun is opposite to Lilith on the 9th. Now, this transit, Sun opposite to Lilith, happens after the market closes. So these sharp pullbacks could be in the very end of the day and more towards the very beginning of the day, with Sun squaring to Mars because it happens at 9:15 a.m. approximately. And the middle of the day could be more of a positive momentum. June the 10th, overall positive momentum. Mercury is next to the ascendant. Trading is the news, information will be highly influential to the market. Also happening on this day, early in the morning, Venus will square to natal Saturn, and Mercury will square to Saturn in the general charts. Opening, the very, very opening of the morning, 9 or 9:30 when it opens, there could be some tension, some restrictions in the prices trying to raise up. And that could just be in the very, very early part of the day. I would say if it opens at 9, for like the first hour, maybe 2 of the opening time for the market. And then after that, by 10 o'clock, that should be cleared up and be positive overall momentum for the rest of the day. June 11th and the 12th, we have Jupiter squaring to natal Saturn and Venus squaring to natal Neptune. Neptune is the ruler of this midhaven. Saturn is not, but Jupiter was the ruler of this full moon. This, I feel, could be a very tense period. Now, Jupiter squaring to Saturn is happening within the market opening times. Venus squaring to natal Neptune is not, but because it's the midhaven, this could have a stronger effect. So the 11th and the 12th, I see these as both very challenge days. Fearful momentum, false rallies, fake support levels, story-driven moves. It could be false information that's coming out that is tricking the stock market, tricking the traders somehow. Just false information, false breakouts. It could also be explosive moves followed by a sharp decline. In the full moon, we had Mars squaring to Pluto. I remember I said that this could be a setup for some sort of strong downtrend, popping the over-exaggerated, inflated bubble. Jupiter squaring to Saturn, that's over-optimism and restrictions. Restricting the over-optimism, sudden turnaround, sudden reality, popping the bubble. This could be reflecting that energy of Mars squaring to Pluto, or even the North Node squaring to that full moon on the full moon. 11th, 12th, definitely a time to watch. The 10th, I would also watch as well. Mercury is next to the ascendant. News and information is very important. That could be something that comes out that excites everybody, that gets everyone rallied up, the prices rallied up, and then the truth comes out on the 11th and the 12th, challenging the markets, turning that market around, negative, strong momentum to the downside. June the 12th, this is the chart. Something that is positive is Jupiter and both Venus will be sextile to New York Stock Exchange's sun. That will be very extremely helpful. That could soften the blow, soften the challenges within this market, within this time period. Jupiter squaring to Saturn, the energy builds up and shows itself sooner than the actual 12th, than the exact date. So that's why I'm saying the 10th, even the 9th, we could start to see this energy influencing the markets, shaking the ground, shaking the prices, shaking the confidence levels within the traders, within the markets. Now, I know I said before that if it's transit's not going on during the opening times, it might not influence. Outer long-term transits, I feel that they still have this long-term duration and they could be having an influence over a period of a few days. The next cycle starts on June the 14th with the new moon in Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini. It has to do with trading. High movement in the trading prices moving quickly, rapidly. Mercury also goes retrograde this cycle. Challenges, a bit of chaos within the markets. And Uranus will square the North Node and Chiron will enter into Taurus. There's a lot of volatility within this market. A lot of emotions changing rapidly, information coming out, changing the sentiment of the traders. Chiron entering into Taurus, there's something that is focusing on the value, the physical value of goods, items, trading money. It's not going to have a direct impact every single day. It's just going to be shifting the value. And that could be shifting the market's value, the price's values. Uranus squaring the North Node at sudden shocks, sudden shifts, changes, shocking revelations. And Uranus retrograde in Cancer, that's emotional. Happens right on that full moon. And Jupiter will also enter Leo. There's a lot of changes, quick moving emotions, affecting the sentiment of the traders, shifting the focus on the traders and the markets. So we'll see how this goes and plays out. And that's all I have. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you'd like an astrology reading so we could look at your trading strengths or investment strengths based on your chart, my link is in the description below, and we can look at your chart and understand best choices to make and how to move forward. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share.